Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be showing off a speed paint for Meet the Artist drawing for 2021. I've been wanting to do one of these basically since the beginning of the year. The last one I did was in November of 2020 and it's actually my current profile picture, but I wasn't really happy with that drawing. It's just a little wonky and it doesn't really look like me. Another reason why I decided to do one of these is to basically just introduce myself. I've been posting videos for a little while, but I wanted to do a formal introduction where I talk a little bit about myself and what I do and what my interests are. Finally, this video was also inspired by a video by Oliver's Antics, and I'll link their channel below, but they basically do a Meet the Artist every year, and watching their video for this year was the final push to get me to just finally sit down and draw this thing. And apologies if I'm more than a little awkward. I'm not used to talking about myself for an extended period of time. I just don't think I'm a particularly interesting person, but if you get annoyed or bored with my voiceover, just mute yourself and enjoy the speed paint. So hi, I'm Anna Grace, but people usually call me AG. I am a hobby artist and college student. I'm actually currently in school for music though. If you couldn't tell from the double name, I'm from the South, Sweet Home, Alabama. I'm currently living at home and doing online school, which is gross, but in a couple weeks I'm going back to my college, which is in Indiana. So, corn. Some more fun facts about me. I am mixed race. I am actually half Chinese and half white. I have two siblings who are both older than me, and I also have two adorable cats and a giant fluffy dog. Now, to break the talk about myself, because it gets exhausting, let's talk a little bit about the drawing. I wanted to do something intentionally busy, more kind of like a collage than anything, that just summed up a lot of my interests and who I am as a person. The entire drawing took a little less than 7 hours over the span of about 3 days. The sketch was very poorly done. I will admit it looks like absolute garbage. I just wasn't warmed up when I started it and I refused to start over, so I just sat down and just kept messing with it. The sketch alone took me about an hour because I just couldn't figure out certain things and kept tweaking them. So it just took a long time. I also couldn't decide what I wanted to draw myself wearing. I played around with a turtleneck and a t-shirt, but I finally settled on a hoodie and a t-shirt, which is my usual outfit during quarantine. And I'm actually currently wearing the hoodie I draw myself in while doing this voiceover, so it was a very, very appropriate outfit for me. So more about myself. I said I was a hobby artist. I started taking my art more seriously my sophomore year of high school, though I would really say most of my improvement came during last year when quarantine hit. I started drawing as a way to just basically cope with what was happening, so I was drawing practically every day and just generally improving my skills. I reached a point where I thought to myself, I genuinely want to get better at art, and I did. I don't think I'm an amazing artist, but I really like creating and just sharing my art with other people. My main medium is digital, obviously. I use Procreate on iPad and an Apple Pencil. I also have been using my sketchbook a lot more recently, and I used to do a lot of drawings with alcohol-based markers. And you can see I added my supplies in this video, but I end up getting rid of the alcohol markers because I just felt like it would make the drawing a little too cluttered. I tend to do a lot of original character drawings along with fan art, though I haven't been doing much art lately due to school starting up. On to the line art. I've been using one brush in Procreate I really like called the Strathmore 3.0 from a brush pack. I can't remember what the brush pack is called, but if I can find it, I'll just put it on screen because it is a free brush pack and I really like it. The Strathmore is kind of a sketchy brush that's just really smooth, And if you're wondering why I'm doing the line art in red, my real answer is I just like how it looks. I changed the color later to fit the rest of the drawing, but it just adds a bit of interest for me when I do line art in red. I also focused more on making line art that is not necessarily perfect, but honestly, I find line art that's one-dimensional and quote-unquote perfect just very boring, so I wanted to add some variety in lines without making the line art too distracting. I'm not sure how successful I was in doing that, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Okay, let me talk specifically about these hands for a minute, because I'm very, very bad at hands. But I actually really like how these turned out. And also, later on, just like, ignore the fact that I drew one of the hands backwards at first because I just suck. I actually looked up references for these hands, and I'm low-key, like, really proud of them. Same with the shoes, which you'll see in a little bit. I wanted to draw myself in Adidas because I really like Adidas and I wear them whenever I go outside for a walk or to the store. And again, I'm very bad at drawing like feet and shoes, but these just came out really nice, so I'm pretty happy with those two things. I actually picked up this drawing on the third day, which was yesterday for when I'm recording this voiceover, and I was very scared of the shoes, especially after drawing hands I really liked. So I actually looked up references for the shoes, and yeah, it's almost like when I actually use references, the outcome is better. Also, sorry there is a bit of shift in quality here. The program I was using to record this speed paint kind of glitched out, so I was just stuck with a recording that just showed like a static screen. So a little bit like throughout this drawing, you can see me just doing like a lot of comparison. I keep like duplicating layers and modifying them to see if like the proportions are correct. I just do this a lot throughout the video, but it helped a lot because in my other Meet the Artist I didn't do that, and the drawing was just like very wonky. The proportions were very off as a result. I also am just gonna put myself on blast for a minute because I use so many layers for everything. I think I'm paranoid of messing up, so I just put like every single thing on a separate layer. However, this does come in handy because I tend to just adjust random parts of the drawing throughout the entire process, so it just makes things easier. Okay, back to me. I said before that I am currently in college and not for art. I'm actually in music school, which is very rigorous and stressful at times, especially during the pandemic. My primary instrument is the flute, though I also play the ukulele, and I recently got a kalimba and an ocarina. So maybe one day I'll also show off my music skills? I don't know. I've never actually taken an art class before, but actually that's a lie, because this semester I picked up my very first art class, which is Introduction to Studio Art. I originally wanted to do a drawing class, but it didn't fit my schedule. But the art class I'm taking now is actually a lot of fun so far. Alright, now to talk about my interests. I'm very introverted, as you will probably be able to deduce from like all of my interests. I enjoy peaceful activities like reading, listening to podcasts, and drawing. So all so calming. I read a wide variety of books, and I'm currently rereading one of my favorite series, A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I want to do some book fan art in the future because I really love books and I want to combine my interests of art and reading, but, you know, time is difficult. In terms of podcasts, I really got into them this summer when COVID hit. I changed general podcasts to fiction podcasts to make it a little more specific. I don't listen to a lot of like certain podcasts. I used to listen to a lot of Night Vale, and I did a big re-listen of all the episodes this fall. In addition, I really like the Magnus Archives and Wolf 359, and I really like D&D podcasts such as The Adventure Zone, which I also listened to this summer, and I've also just started listening to Dungeons and Daddies and NADPod. Okay, that's a lot about podcasts. I've also done fan art for podcasts because I just think they're neat. In terms of dislikes, I wanted to do some dislikes that weren't super general. I've seen some Meet the Artists where the dislikes are like mean people, bullies, which I mean, I think most people don't like those things. And I mean, I say that dislikes for online school and large crowds and disorganization are generally like pretty common, but I also wanted to do some specific, somewhat controversial dislikes, such as raw tomatoes and the color green. I don't really have much to say about those. I just don't like them. I don't have anything against people who do like them. They're just not my cup of tea. You will be able to see how much I struggled with picking colors. I originally went for colors I used in my last Meet the Artist, then just like massively changed just about every color. Namely, I struggle with the t-shirt I'm wearing. I go through a lot of different colors like purples, pinks, grays, and I eventually settle on a yellow that's similar to an Animal Crossing shirt that I've been wearing a lot recently. In general, I just really like working with warm and neutral colors when doing art. I'm not the best at color theory, but I'm trying to get better. And after everything, I'm actually very happy with the color palette. I just think it's very pleasing to the eye, but not like overly red. So now I'm going to talk about the shading a little bit, which I also had some issues with. I really like shading, but it's one of the most difficult things for me in terms of art. I've gotten a lot better at it, believe me, but I still have a lot of improving to do. For this piece, I didn't want there to be a concrete, harsh light source. It just wouldn't make sense with the rest of the vibes in this drawing, so I went for more of a generalized shading. I also wanted to play around with a slightly different shading style. I wanted to do something semi-painterly, so I do a lot of guesswork and just seeing what looks good. It looks a little wonky at times, but I'm very happy with the final product. In addition, I really like those styles that have a lot of colors mixed in, so I tried to add some of those elements. I think it added a lot of depth to the colors, so overall I'm very happy with it. The overall feel of this piece just makes me really happy. I wanted it to just feel really welcoming, and I think I achieved that more or less. I'm also very stupid and forgot to put my age on this sheet, which I eventually do later. So yeah, if you haven't figured that out, I am 20 years old. I also do a very stupid thing where I forgot that my glasses are like a different color. I recently got new glasses that are clear, but my old ones were black. So up until the end, I had black glasses, then I just suddenly changed them to white. Again, this is why I have everything on a separate layer. So for the last things I do on this drawing, I kind of make it kind of look like stickers. So I put like some white outlines around myself and the objects. I also do a fun grid background because I wanted to do something that felt somewhat like paper. I think this drawing gives off a very studious vibe, but I'm kind of digging it. And that's basically all I have to say for the speed paint. In general, I really like how it turned out, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I'm working on making a lot of new videos in between class assignments and other obligations, so I hope you'll stick around. If you did like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I'm going to be posting videos every Friday, so if you want to be notified when I post a new video, be sure to hit the bell. And yeah, that's basically all I have to say. Thank you again for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one.